last year's package, I feel like you would get choked down a lot more on the bottom lane than we would this year. So that's really the only difference I can think of off the top of my head right now. It's been a while. Those cars were even slower than what we have tonight. But restarts were intense for sure. That's what makes this race so exciting is it's short runs. People are going crazy. Even though it's a 20-lap run, there's still a caution or two in each segment because everybody's just going nuts. And so just having short runs like that, I think, really showcases this package. I felt like the first run, it got strung out, and it would have been pretty impossible to pass. But the restarts were wild.
All right, Jerry.
Jerry Jordan, KickingTheTires.net. Obvious question. I don't know what your cut is, but what are you going to do with the money, man?
I don't know. I was joking with Owen today about, what would you want me to buy you if I won $1 million? And I don't think he understands what $1 million is. So he didn't really have an answer for me. So I don't have any plans. I think, too, $1 million is cool, but just winning is more cool than $1 million to me. And I think maybe we're just us drivers or NASCAR drivers are in a good place in our life. It pays well, so whatever. But just winning a big race, a prestigious event means more to me than the money. I'm all about trophies and big wins.
All right, Pete.
Kyle, I know it. I don't know that this seems like I'm coming from a different perspective, but at Talladega, when I see you do what happened there, I just say, how do you come back from something like that? How do you get yourself in a frame of mind where a month later you're sitting here talking about a victory?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe it's because I grew up racing sprint cars and crashes happen, and that wasn't the first flip I've ever had. So I don't get scared from it. It doesn't rough me up. It doesn't bother me. Thankfully I was uninjured, other than just a stiff neck for a couple days. So that also helps. Not get yourself psyched out. But really just. I think the string of 4 or 5 races we had there in a row where we just had issue after issue after issue, blown tire, just penalties and things like that. That stuff's hard to overcome more so than flipping down the backstretch. So it was good to get a finish at Dover, a good finish, a good weekend, and then a decent week at Kansas last week, and parlay that into a victory today.
All right, real quick clarification on my part as we continue questions. I read my notes wrong. Casey Kane won the All-Star race the year he was the fan vote winner. Ryan Newman was the other driver to win the Open and then transfer in. So just wanted to clarify that. We'll continue with questions. I believe Peter had one, and then we'll come up front.
Peter Schroeder, TSJ Sports. Kyle, you were one of 2 drivers to run every lap tonight in the Open and the All-Star race. Do you think the added on-track time was a benefit?
Yeah, I always think if there's one positive to being in the B main, it's that you get that extra track time, and I feel like in that the first few laps, those guys that are in the B main can be really aggressive because they know the limits of their race car and stuff, and so you could see the 4 of us or whatever kind of be really aggressive and get to the mid pack pretty quickly. And then everybody kind of figures it out after that. But there's a slight advantage for the first 10, 15 laps, I think, of being in that race.
All right, go ahead.
Kyle, Pete McCall with AutoRace1.com. You finished second to Kyle Busch back in 2017. This year you won the race, and Kyle Busch pretty much used up his car trying to track you down. Does that make you feel good that you a little bit of vindication on that loss in 2017?
I think it was the year before, actually, that was more of a bigger loss to me. I think it was 16. I was leading it. I had fresher tires than everybody. Got to the lead, and then Joey was able to track me down and get by me, and we just kind of played chicken with each other into one, and I got into the wall, and he went on to win. So that's the one where I feel like, this race, feels like I got some redemption back, because I felt like I was in an amazing spot to win this race then, and just didn't get the job done. And then I don't honestly remember how the race in 2017 went for me. I forgot I even ran second. I knew I've contended to win a couple of these, but yeah, we always seem, like I said, we always seem to run really well this weekend for whatever reason. My balance is just good, and then in the 600 miles, we get really loose, or just I make a mistake, hit the wall. So yeah, hopefully we can keep this balance that we got with our car and be strong next week too.
All right, I believe we had a question. There we go.
Yes, Michael Freer with the Independent Tribune. Kyle, can you talk about your approach to today? When you began today, you didn't even know if you'd be in the field, and now you come away with a win and $1 million. How's your mindset when you woke up today? What were you thinking?
Well, I was thinking we needed to get Owen to T-ball on time. He had his last T-ball game today. So I don't know, we were just pretty relaxed. It's cool, my crew chief's son and Owen, they're on the same T-ball team, so we were both there relaxed. And Eric Amarola's kid was in the game before us, so it was kind of funny just to see, everybody's got big stakes, racing for big money, in a few hours, but we're all hanging out there with our kids for a little while. So I was pretty relaxed, but yesterday in practice, I knew we had a good car compared to the guys that were in the B main. And then, so because of that, I feel like I had to be a little less aggressive in that race, just to take care of my equipment, to not dig myself a hole and get some damage where I couldn't, contend to win one of those segments. So, we were able to try and give it away a couple different times, but got it done. And I was getting a little more stressed out, kind of each caution we had, just because I was thinking how it wasn't going to work out. But we were able to make it in, and the rest is history.
All right, we're going to go upstairs to the press box.
Jim Utter, motorsport.com. Kyle, have you been more frustrated this season because you felt that you have had cars and the speed capable of winning, or have you felt frustrated because you didn't think you guys were on par to some of the others in the field?
No, I mean, just more frustrated at the luck, probably more than anything. I don't even know if this locks us into the playoffs or not, but it's
It
tough.
does not.
Oh, thanks.
Sorry to be the bearer of bad news.
I was
It does
hoping
not.
you were going to say it does. Don't we get like some playoff points though, at least? No,
No.
we used to. Wow, that sucks. But
But
what
you
was
won
it?
$1 million.
yeah. Dang. So anyways, it's tough to, as I've learned in my Cup career, aside from 2017, it's pretty tough to make the playoffs. There's a lot of cars that are, make it, but those last 4 or 5 spots, depending on what guys win throughout the season, it's tough to make the playoffs. So, with the string of DNFs that I had and bad finishes, that's what was more frustrating, just because I knew we were just putting ourselves, or I know we were putting ourselves in a bad spot to make it to the playoffs, where you have to be extremely consistent and just take what you can get, from now on, where you can't almost be as aggressive as you could be if you had a fast car and were consistently running top 5 and things like that. So that's what was more frustrating. I feel like we've had, I feel like Kansas kind of showed it last week. I feel like I've been like a 7th or 8th to kind of 12th place car all season, but I haven't got to show for it. And that's, 7th to 12th isn't that great. A week ago or a few days ago, I would say, we can't win a race like that. But we proved today that we could. So we just got to continue to keep working hard and learning what we can, making our cars better and faster and more grip, more speed, everything. Pit crew's got to be on it. I got to be on it, if we want to continue to run up front.
All right. Mark, did you have a question? We'll take one last question from Mark.
Mark Arrow, PRN. Chad was in here and said it was a relief. You mentioned earlier it's a relief. In other sports, when a guy's in a hitting slump, he's gripping the bat too tight, he's trying too hard, gets a couple of hits, relax, and everything starts falling into place. Do you see that as potentially for your team? This is the last little thing so you guys can relax, settle in, and do your deal and win some more races?
I hope so. It's been such a rocky start, and we haven't gotten any momentum at all up until the last couple weeks, a little bit, and then today I hope kind of helps it. This is a great time of year for me to get a win, and winning not only is important for me in NASCAR, because it's what I make my living in. It's what I race for points and for a championship in. But this is the time of year where I start getting to race a bunch. So I'm going to be in a race car I think every day for the next probably almost 7 or 8 days. So this is a good time of year for me to get some momentum, and you'll get into my sprint car season, my midget season, as well as the NASCAR stuff on the weekends. So hopefully this will turn it into I can get some double-digit wins this year. Yeah, I'm gonna race my outlaw card at Millbridge. You always do that on Tuesday and Wednesday. I think they practice there on Monday. So I hope I got some partying to do tomorrow, but I still got some work to do in my go-kart. And then I'll be at Charlotte, the dirt track, Friday and Saturday, racing with the World of Outlaws, the 600 Sunday. Then we go to Lawrenceburg on Monday, and then I have a few days off. And then after Pocono, I think I do Fairbury with the Outlaws, and then a couple nights of midget week. And then we have our off weekend, and I race 6 nights in Ohio. So I get to race in a bunch here. This is a fun time of year for me.
All right, Claire, did you have a question? Okay, final question from Claire.
I know that Kevin Harvick's Happy Hours is coming up this week, and so I've been asked to ask you about Kevin Harvick giving you that push. I saw the back of your car. Talk us through that.
Yeah, it was nice for, I guess, the millennial car to, I don't even know if I'm considered a millennial still, but it was nice to have the millennial car give me a big shove like that. One of our social guys said I yeeted the millennial car, so I don't know what that means, but he does, so cool.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how was that push from Harvick?
Am I supposed to answer with emojis? It was fire.
Very well played. Well, Kyle, congratulations on your All-Star victory tonight. You will be glad to know that inspection is all clear with no issues. You are officially
Awesome.
declared the winner, so congratulations. Enjoy tomorrow.
Like Amanda just said, inspection is clear in the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series garage. No lug nut issues, no cars going back to R&D Center.